So by now, I know that all of us should be pro in creating project brief, following the step-by-step guide provided, and we know what project brief is all about and the reason why we create project brief. So the next thing, when you capture the brief, is to break the work down into stages and sub-stages, kind of categories and subcategories. Categorize and put sub. Create a hierarchy order of your work. That is work breakdown structure. With this, you have a kind of a map or a roadmap of how you want to achieve this project. And from there, you can then start creating project plan. But this is the blueprint. You, at this time around, is you that is breaking this work. You've captured the project brief from the stakeholders, the project sponsor, whoever, other important people. Like we say, capturing project brief, it cannot be only what, find out all the people that are important and you capture it. If the project brief is already prepared as a document, at times a project brief is prepared as a document waiting for the project manager. You know, once project manager, they can hand you over the project brief as a document. In some cases, you don't have any project brief as a document waiting for you. So you need to have a meeting with the relevant stakeholders to capture the project brief. So this is just a highlight of ESD, because while I'm highlighting this, I saw some questions within our trends, some becoming kind of confused about who does this. So that is that. Today, we are looking at work breakdown structure. Now we've captured both project brief, the project have started. We have to start breaking our work down in manageable stages. The main thing is to manage our work break our work down into manageable stages. Stages we can manage it very well. And let's look up from our lesson notes so that we can look at some diagram as well. So you see, looking at this diagram, you see this is a work breakdown structure. You see this diagram, you see that this work is broken down into these stages. We have initiate stage, we have planning stage, execute stage, control, and close out. This is the way this, and under each stage, you see list of items, list of deliverables under each stage. You see the way it's broken down. That is a work breakdown structure diagram. Okay, come again. Look at another work breakdown structure. You see, this is the project title. This project is broken down into preparation. This is how I see. And under each of these, you see items, deliverables, or tasks under each. This is to give a clear picture of what needs to be done. With this, we are looking at it in one document, in one picture. It's very clear what needs to be done here. This needs to be broken down into more details. When you start breaking this down into details, it becomes a project plan. But at this time is not a project plan. This is just a picture to give us a guide, a high-level overview, a roadmap. So that is, I just wanted to use this picture to give us visibility, and then let's go down to various details. So, like we say, is a hierarchical decomposition of a project into smaller, manageable tasks or components. The goal of a work breakdown structure is to break down the project deliverables and works into chunks that can be easily managed and monitored. You need to break them down into smaller manageable units so you can easily monitor them, easily manage them. At that high level, it's difficult to understand, it's difficult to manage, but when you break them down into smaller manageable units, it can easily be consumed or monitored, managed, tracked. So that is the main purpose. The work breakdown structure is essential for project planning, scheduling, budgeting, and resource allocation. It helps ensure that all project tasks are clearly identified, organized, and tracked throughout the project life cycle. So, the purpose, clarity, and structure. It gives the project team a clear structure of all activities and ensures everyone understands their responsibilities. Manageability. By breaking work breakdown structure into smaller tasks, it's easier to manage every part of the project. Tracking progress. It allows progress tracking at different levels. Then resource allocation. But this is when we're now trying to convert this work breakdown structure into a full-fledged project plan. It's a blueprint for creating a project plan. It's like a stepping stone, the foundation on which we build project plan. Project plan is different from work breakdown structure. So it helps in assigning resources to each task. When we start assigning resources, then it becomes, we are now migrating away from work breakdown structure to becoming, we are now creating a project plan. Amuchi,
Yeah.
you are disturbing the class. You can put yourself on mute. Okay, thank you. So, key components of work breakdown structure. In work breakdown structure, these are the key components here. This is work breakdown structure. Phases, activities, and tasks. With this, like I said, is a skeleton, is a blueprint of building project plan. So with these other activities, it can help us who are now building a project plan. It helps us to create project plan. You see, from work breakdown structure, we can start adding other activities that will help us to work on this project. So time allocation, meeting, every other thing is within project planning. We're now beginning to plan. But at the point of work breakdown is within these two components, activities, phases, and activities. That is it. And The way I do my own is that I do my work breakdown structure that is beyond just activities. I try to capture time, making it easy for me to build my project plan. Very simple. So the first thing is to define the phases. Divide the project into broader phases like initiate, planning, execution, and closure. This will provide a high-level view for the project life cycle. Now you create the project life cycle. Within the project life cycle, each stage of the project life cycle, we break it down further by adding various deliverables within the project the phase of that project breakdown project life cycle. The next thing is identify key deliverables at each phase. Each phase has so many deliverables. Here we see under initiate stage, you have so many deliverables. Under planning stage, you have so many deliverables. Break down the high level into smaller deliverables or output or outcome that must be achieved. For example, the planning phase deliverable could be a project schedule, a market research report, and vendor recruitment. Decompose deliverables into tasks. For each deliverable, identify specific tasks or activities required to complete it. For example, vendor recruitment plan tasks may include define recruitment strategy, contact potential vendors, and schedule vendor onboarding. Then identify time allocation. At this point, you can do it, but it's not compulsory at this point. I'm trying to understand the time. I do it, but at this point, it's not compulsory in project breakdown structure. Coming down from numbers 4 down to number 8, they are not compulsory in project breakdown structure. They are only helping you to build a good project plan. So what I do is that I do it in my work breakdown structure so that by the time I'm creating my project plan, it becomes so easy for me. So following this, assign time allocation, but it's just high level, estimated. Estimate how long each task will take to complete and be realistic in time allocation to avoid scheduling issues. Identify owners. Assign responsible to tasks. This can be either the project manager or the business analyst or key stakeholders. Make sure that the owners have the right skill and authority to complete the task. This is not project plan, like I said, but it's like a blueprint. Determine the project management techniques. I do it. It's not compulsory, but this will help me to make my work easy. Identify tools, method, analysis, techniques required to accomplish each task, like stakeholder analysis, gap analysis, SWOT analysis. Schedule regular meeting. Schedule regular meeting for status updates, problem solving, and feedback. Ensure this meeting align. From the start of my project, identify some of the meetings I need to have. That is how I make my work very easy for me. track progress and status. I capture progress and status at this stage is still at high level stage. So that is a way to break down work into manageable stage. At this point, we're not talking about project plan. We're just trying to understand what needs to be done and breaking them down. So that is work breakdown structure for us. And example, we are going to use an example, the food truck expansion project. We spoke about food truck. We are going to continue to use this as an example. We've used it in a project brief, so we're going to use it as an example here as well. So in the food truck, which we captured the project brief last night, the work breakdown structure helps organize the expansion effort from rivers into new Nigerian states. The tasks, stakeholders, and time allocation outlined in details to ensure specific expansion are covered efficiently. So here is the work breakdown structure I captured here. But the main work breakdown structure, statutory work breakdown structure, is just to, phases and activities, to capture phases and activities. And that is it here. So it's tiny here. So I will take us to the Excel document where I captured this whole document very well. So let me go to our spreadsheet. This is it. Here, this is this document here. So this is what I call a detailed work breakdown structure. Call it detailed work breakdown structure. But if we want to create a simple work breakdown structure, what we need to capture is only these two phases. Only these two columns. Column 1 is phase and column 2 is activities and tasks. And this is what we are going to use to create a diagram. We are going to create a work breakdown structure diagram using these two columns, phase and activities. But these are bonus for us. We've captured this before we start creating our project plan. This is a mini project plan. This is a mini project plan we've created here. So, but let's capture a diagram of a work breakdown structure. Maybe if we want to send it to a management, to just give them a high-level overview of a work breakdown structure, we can send this diagram. But for us, for me, I've done a lot of work here and it's going to be easy for me. By the time I'm starting a project plan, all I need is just tweak this work breakdown, detailed work breakdown structure, and I'll turn it into a project plan or migrate this into a project planner like Project Labor or Microsoft Project Planner. So what we are going to do now is to create a diagram. And that is where our first major work needs to start. We need to, yes, I know some of us, we have not done anything about, we don't know anything, but this is the time we need to start getting our hand into this project. We need to create a diagram and we are going to use a tool. It's very early to introduce us, but we have to do it now. This is a tool, both project managers, both business analysts uses this tool. We are going to talk about tools in project management. So, but at this point, we have to use these tools. When we get to that stage, we'll still talk about them. But let's use this tool, we call it draw.io. Draw.io to create a work breakdown structure diagram. We can equally use another tool called VCO. These are business analyst tools. Business analysts are the people that uses this so much, but anybody can use it, even project manager. We can equally use VCO is a product of Microsoft. Then we'll have another tool, Lucid Charts. You can use Lucid Charts. But why we are going to use draw.io is because these other tools are paid tools. Like VCO is a lot of money, and Lucid Charts, they have free version and they have paid version. If you want to use it very well, you need to pay. But this draw.io is free, and it's free forever, and it's free for any way we want to use it. It's developed by a group of developers and is free, completely free. At this point, we don't know. I'll be using it for a long time for teaching and doing for my personal works. And there is no premium version. It's free and it's free. So we have to use it. As you can see, it's loading. So when you type draw.io and hit the button, it's going to bring you to this page called app.diagram.net. It's the same thing. So when you are trying to get here, if you see this, don't say, oh, this is no longer draw.io. It's the same thing. It's navigating you to the main workplace. So if you are using it, it's going to prompt you to create where you are going to save your work. It's either you are going to save your work, you are starting a new diagram, or if you have an existing diagram, you open existing diagram or you start a new diagram. We are starting a new diagram and we are going to save it in Google Drive. If you want to save it somewhere else, you can equally save it on your desktop, on your computer. So this is it. So once you do that, it's going to bring a dialog box like this, and you have to choose what you want to do. It's either you start with a canvas, a black canvas. Blank canvas is, we are not using any templates. You start from the scratch. Or if you want to use templates, these are various templates you can use, like swim lane, flow charts, org charts, and so many of them. But we are going to use black canvas, and here you need to put a title of the work we are doing. So we are going to say full track work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure, WBS. Now we select the blank canvas and we say create. So, and then you see it here. I will save this work where my Google Drive. If you want to change where you want to save it at this point, you come to this arrow. You see these are various download. You can save on your device. Save on draw anywhere you want to save it. But I will take it back to Google Drive so that if I want it again, I can go there and open it again and start using it. And I will click this, and then it's going to open the blank blank canvas where we have to create this dial. So now this is it, and this is where we are going to create our work. So the first thing we are going to do here is to import a container where we are going to do this. So okay, Blessing Malachi, you are raising your hand. How may I help?
Sorry, sir, that was a mistake.
Okay. What, Agatha, what do you say is like network is affecting the diagram? Okay, please, I'm continuing. So now I have to search for container I need to use. We have a lot of that we call it libraries here. So these are libraries we can use. All these libraries here are for shapes, different shapes here. We have different diagram. This library is just general library. Then we have different library for mix, different library for advanced shape, library for basic shape, library for arrow, library for flowchart, library for entity relationship diagrams, library for UML, and there's a UML Unified Modeling Language. And if you want more shapes that is not captured in the library we have here, you click on more shapes. And then it's going to bring this. Then you can choose more libraries from here. And you see a lot of other, these are all libraries. If you want to do mock-up, if you want to anything, all these you can select as so many libraries. They have a lot of shapes covering different libraries. So it's up to you to select the library you want to for specific application. For anything, you can see it here. But I don't need any more library. I'm just taking you around for those who are using this for the first time for you to see. So I'm going to use this general shape, and all I need to do, I don't want to go and start looking for, so all I need to do is to search. I want to search for a container. So just search for a container that will contain my work. I want it in a container, or I can decide not to have it in a container and start. But let me see. Type container. So you see different containers where you can, so we can do it in a container like this, or we can do it in a plain. So let's see if we can, let's get this container and just do it in a container like this. You see, this container is scalable, anyhow you want, so that's it, it's scalable. We can decide to start bringing this into container. Or alternatively, we can just start our diagram without any container. So let me start right away. The first thing here is this. And the next thing I need to do is this. I'll bring this and this way. And
Mr. Charles, please, is there a way you can zoom your screen? It's too fancy, please.
okay.
It's your network. We can see everything.
100%. I'm on 120 now. My screen, if I zoom it, is going to are you using your phone? Are you using computer?
I'm using
You can as well zoom your own screen.
Huh?
Zoom your own
I'm
screen.
using my computer.
Okay. I don't think so you're not seeing what I'm doing?
You can see very well.
Okay. So now I've initiated 4 stages. So this is what I want to do. This is what I'm planning to do. For some of you who do not understand what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create this stage, these phases. This is food track, work breakdown structure. I just want to use the phase and activities. I want to break this project into phases and into activities. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes,
We are
sir.
not, yeah, we are not.
Yes, sir.
We are not allocating time. We are not capturing any other thing. We just want to break them down into phases so that even if we are sending it to a senior project
Network is
manager,
disturbing me too much.
if we are sending it to a program manager to see that we have started or this is what we are just doing. So what I need to do is capture this initiate, planning, execute, and closure, and then start breaking it. So this one is going to be initiate, planning, execute, closure. And then this is the title, food tackle work breakdown structure. And that's it. Now, the next thing is to under initiate. What do I need to do? Under initiate, I need to bring more process, more container here. So I can come under this and add this, and come under this again and add another this here. And all I need to do, you see the way I highlight this, I'll click on this highlight and I'll drag this, and I come over this and join it here. So that is it. And then I highlight it again here and come over here and I join it again. So this is the main this is the main phase, and this is the deliverables underneath. I can use this to capture the main phases, and then green color to capture the sub phases or tags under each phase. And I can use this to capture the main this. So now under this, let's look at our table, define project objectives. Copy this. So define project objectives and goals, and then come back again, identify and document key stakeholders. And come over this and drop it here. So then you see I've carefully done this. Can be cream, and this can be this. So I come back here, I pick more stuffs, come back here, I pick more stuffs, and come back here, I pick more stuffs, here. Then I come back and grab conduct. You have for conduct market. So what I'm the purpose of doing this, you can see that it's not a compulsory that you must do this, but while what I'm doing, I have to let you know everything you need to know. I've already created my work breakdown structure here using Excel sheets or table to do this. I've created it in a table. But what if you go to a company where your manager requested you to produce a work breakdown structure diagram? Maybe he or she can share with the directors for them to look at. They don't want, you've created this for your personal use, but they want something like this, a diagram, because diagram is the best way when you want to have a meeting, you know, present, talk about high level situation. So that is why we have to do it in a diagram. Now we are using a diagram to create another work breakdown structure. Well, some people say, oh, we've already created work breakdown structure using a Excel document. Why are we then going ahead to create another diagram? So we'll come back here. You grab this. Okay. You grab this. You come back here. You drop it. So I know we still need, because now we have for this here. So grab this. We'll drop it here. And then we'll grab the fourth activity under planning. Yeah. Now I'm done with planning. Then let me move to execution. How many activities do we have under execution? Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 activities under execution. We'll come here and get it sorted. Yeah. If you choose, when you bring a container, you can duplicate the container if you want. You see, I have duplicated this container here and duplicate again. And So if you want to be a project manager, a business analyst, you have to be comfortable with diagrams. We are not interested in talking so much. We want to show it, more especially business analysts. We don't talk too much. We show our work with a diagram. That's how we present our work. Okay, we have some work here already. So let's get the tags or deliverables into the launch. So the first thing under execution is launch vendor recruitment campaign. And I'm trying to fit this into that little container. And okay, Jenny, you are raising your hand. Do you have any problem? Okay, I will move on.
Oops, sorry, I'm okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, I've moved on already because you are not talking to me. Jude, do you have a problem?
Yes, sir. Please, I want to ask, how do you use this detailed WBS? So, how do you create?
I can't hear you very well.
I said, how do we use this detailed WBS on the project planner that you mentioned, like Microsoft Project Planner or any other one? How do you use the detailed WBS that you have created on Excel?
We cannot jump gun, Mr. Jude.
Okay, sir.
So calm down. When we get to project planning, we can see how to use that. But at this moment, try to understand WBC BS first. You are going to see how it's going to be used. If you can you do this I'm doing at the moment?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's what I want you to be doing because we have to post your work. So just follow what I'm doing. And guys, this thing is trying to let me quickly plug my system. Okay. Okay. Okay, the next is conduct platform testing. Okay. Launch marketing campaign.
Are you talking? I can't even hear you.
You can see what I'm doing. Are you not seeing what I'm doing?
I'm seeing it.
I don't need to be talking all the time. Should I be telling you I want to put green color? I want to put green color. I want to put green color. Is that what you want me to be saying?
I think she just wanted to know if her network is good. Likewise, me.
I was
Okay, but
even thinking network is off.
no, I'm just, when I want to do something, you want to hear my voice, I'll talk. But at this point, I just created this and I'm coloring. So I don't think it's necessary to tell you I'm coloring. Okay. But for the fact you guys love my voice, okay, that's quite good. All right, I'll duplicate
Please, are
the
you using Canvas for this?
what?
Canvas, is that what you are using for the diagram?
When did you join us? Did you join? Have you been following?
Yes, sir.
You are not. Class. Class, has she been following what we are doing? Let us.
Maybe her network. Maybe
No,
her network.
No, but she says she's been following
There
what
was
we
a
are
time
doing.
I didn't see your screen, sir. I was not seeing your screen.
Network.
This doesn't even look like Canvas app.
What we are using is a software
Draw.
called Draw.io. So, and we'll say that when you click on Draw.io, you're going to take you to another page called app.diagram.net is the same thing. So, but it's recorded. You are going to, by the time you want to watch it again, you are going to hear everything very well. So that is, but you can use Canva. You can use Canva for any kind of, but this is specially made for project management and business analysis. And, it's not, Canva is mainly for, creators, content creators uses it for, all these posters and a lot. You can use Canva for a lot of things, but this is specifically designed for project managers, business and IT people like us. It's not for making posters and all this.
Okay, sir.
So, and it's cheap. Sorry, it's free, not even cheap. It's free. That's the reason why I'm using it, because so many students will be in the past, they'll be saying, I can't buy VCO, I don't have VCO, this is completely free. Why I'm using it is that because I don't want any of you to say I'm not submitting my work because I don't have money to subscribe for this. You don't have any excuse.
Okay, sir.
Because this is free. Okay. And because some of you want me to be talking and they love my voice, I'll continue to talk. So I'll grab evaluate project performance, and I'll come over here. I'll come back to draw.io and I will drop it, boom. And I will scale it down to fit well into the little container or the little shape. Then I go back, I pick another one, and I copy, I go back. Okay, let me duplicate this before I drop this. So I duplicate this and I drop this one. I scale it down and I go back to my Excel documents or spreadsheets, pick the rest, come back, and I will drop it and finally scale it down again and connect them. Pick another arrow to connect the two other ones. Connect this again and I connect this again. And okay, I'll do the coloring and again and again, and I'm done with my work breakdown structure. And think done with that. I want to highlight this in capital, make it bold, in bold, and this in bold as well. And that is the work breakdown structure for Futraku expansion projects. And yeah. So if you have any question, can ask your question. I'll be taking you. I can take your question. Well, the next thing I have to do here is to get this piece of work out of this draw.io, because I have to add this. My documentation I've started. I've created project brief, and I need a diagram to support the ongoing project. So I've just created this, and I want to get it out of here. So if you want to export this piece of work, there's no way you can download it here. So all I need to do is I come over to, you see, I go to here, you see file. I come down to export. I will export this as PNG. You can export as PDF. Whichever document you want to get it out, I'm getting it out of here in PNG format, and I will click export, and I will go to download, and I'll click OK, and I've downloaded this piece of work. It's downloaded now, and I will come to here. So instead of coming up, so this is work breakdown structure in a table. So instead of this being in a table like this, you see it does not look good in this table. So I will, so this is like what I'm doing. You see this is how so looking at this table here, you see that this table is not user friendly. So I'll come over here, and I'll put this diagram here to improve the quality of my work. I'll go here, from here, and here, and here, and zoom. I've got it here. So I've added it in my lecture notes. So if I want to teach you next time about this, I've got it here. So that is, we've created a work breakdown structure here that is looking professional. We can share this to stakeholders to see how we plan to start this work, how we've the project brief we captured from them. This is what we have transformed the project brief to be. As we're planning to start, I can tell them I'm about to start this project. I'm working on it already. This is work. Even my team I need to work with, I can have a meeting with my team, equally show them how we need to approach these projects, how we are broken them down into these stages, and tell them to give me time to come up with a detailed project plan. Chicken, this is sorted. So for all the people that have been raising their hands up, I'm here for you to ask those questions. What are those questions you want to ask? I will call you a name. Lucy. We have
Hello, sir.
Yes. So, Lucy, what is so complicated in this my work breakdown structure you want to find about?
Okay, it's not complicated. I just wanted to clarify two things. Okay,
Mhm.
I see the breakdown structure diagram is similar to a flowchart diagram. However, I noticed you used only one type of shape for the diagram. Are there situations where we would need
This
to
is
use
not
different
this.
shapes?
This is not flow charts.
Okay.
Did I say that
Okay.
I'm creating a flow chart, people?
No, you didn't say so. Why I'm asking? Because of the
The
representation of the
okay,
different
okay.
shapes.
Well,
That was what I was asking.
hang on.
Okay.
I showed you a work breakdown structure before I start this work.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
take us back to see that at times what is different between what is here and what I've just created. Is there any difference? Is it not the same shape?
It is. It is.
Okay. Here again, what is the difference? Is it not the same shape?
It is.
So, Lucy, what are you asking? What is so is there
Okay,
anything you
it's
want
clear.
to teach us?
It's clear.
This
It's clear.
one again, is it not the same shape?
It is. It is.
Okay. Okay, let's so what do you want to teach us here?
No, I'm not teaching anything. I'm just asking to clarify. Can I ask the second one?
Sure. I'm here for you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. I understand that the activities are arranged in the order of importance, which means the activity is dependent, an activity is dependent on the previous activity in the pipeline. I don't know if I'm correct. If this is the
Yeah.
case, I was wondering, okay, why are the arrows pointing from a phase to each activities instead of from an activity to the next activity in the pipeline?
From a phase.
Yes, just like this initiate phase is pointing direct to define project objective and goals, then also is pointing again from initiate to identify and document key stakeholders. I was thinking if it was supposed to be directly under the activities instead of by the side, directly from the phase to an activity, or it doesn't matter the direction of the arrow.
You want it to be pointing down directly like this?
No, not I want. I'm asking if it doesn't matter.
The main thing here is there is no format, but
Okay.
you have to create your work the way you can explain it, and whoever looking at this my work can see that this is not mathematics, this is a diagram, and this is a creative work. I'm using this to paint a picture on how I want to start this work. I'm breaking this work down so that anybody who wants to understand how I want to approach this work will understand it. And even a blind man can understand how I want to approach this work by looking at the arrow from initiate stage. The arrow come down to the first deliverable on the initiate stage. The arrow continue again down to this, showing that you see the sequence the arrow is following. You see the way the arrow is flowing. You are following the arrow, you can see the next line of activity following the arrow.
Okay.
See the arrow is going, is flowing down. So with this, you see where the arrow is coming from. The first arrow enters here, the second arrow, the third arrow, and it continues. So that is the flow of activities.
Okay.
I want. If alternatively, if you want, you can start capturing numbers by saying number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2, whichever way. But the main thing is breaking your work down into stages and sub-stages, into phase
Okay.
and activities under the phases.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So, is there any other thing you want to clarify?
No, none.
Okay,
I'm
Chi
good.
Ezan, you can have the mic.
Okay, thank you, sir, very much. The thing there is I can't use the draw stuff.
Then you learn it. That's why we are teaching you how to use it.
Yeah, I was looking at you when you were trying to
So
use the line.
you cannot tell me you can't use it while you meet it today. Have you been trying to do it as I'm doing it?
Yes, I was lost. Initially, I followed you, but how to get the lines? I was raising my
You
hand.
see the way I was highlighting. When I highlight, I'll
Yes,
pick it.
yeah, I know that one, but how to draw the longer line, like from that food track web, like to
Longer
draw.
line. And every line I pick it up and connect. You see the way I'm picking and connecting, because the line will continue to increase.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where.
I didn't draw any lower line and be started. I keep on connecting. As I'm connecting, is the line keep on becoming longer.
Yes, I know. The one I'm talking about is the initial stage, the first line, the from
It's
food
the
track
same thing, just
WBS.
the same thing I
I
did.
don't know where the line is. I went to the right hand side. I saw just diagram and the other one. I was trying to know how to get the style when your text comes out. Style, arrange.
It means you didn't follow me from the beginning.
I was following you from the beginning.
Because from the beginning, I dropped this food tracker container.
Yes, I dropped it.
First. Then I pick another shape and drop the initial stage.
Yes, the connection is what I'm talking.
I drop this one. I drop the 4 of them. Then I start picking the line and start connect. I connected to this. I connected.
The line where you picked the line is my problem. Where?
I didn't pick any line. I pick arrows. And
where
once I connect,
I don't know where it is.
Are you guys getting me?
Please, can I come in? I think I understand her question.
Yes.
Okay. The AXA, if you go to the middle of the rectangle, in the middle, it will pop up a green circle.
Okay. Yes.
When you click on it, you will see an arrow will appear. Take that arrow, that arrow go down. That's what it is.
I've done it already. Thank you.
Yeah, but she's saying she's done it already, and that's what she says. She understands how all these things, and she didn't. So that's why I do not understand what she's trying to say.
I'm trying to say I don't know how to draw the line. So immediately she said I should click on the rectangle and I'll see the arrow. I did that and I did what she said. That's what I mean.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think everybody is comfortable at this point. Chinyere James F. Young.
Sorry, it's Chinyere James F. Young.
So Chinyere James F. Young, sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Okay, a couple of things. First of all, I understand that you imported the working document you used for our lecture notes is a Google document, and you imported this work breakdown structure into it. So I want to ask, is it possible to also import it into an MS Word and other working documents, or is it just Google document you can import it into? That's the first question.
Here's how you can import data from Google Maps into MS Word and other working documents.
Huh?
So if you see the lecture notes, you will see that we have a work breakdown structure in our lecture notes, and that lecture note is in Word document.
Okay.
So, but if you hear me again, I said we've created this because the one in our lecture notes is not user-friendly, we created another one in Excel document, which is the right place to create tables. And you see that in our table is smarter. Word document is not meant to capture a very long or detailed tables. It's just for high-level tables. So that's why we have it in Excel. So you use your expertise to take decision on where you create a particular document. You know that with this, so you can create it anywhere. It's all about, you see, I have different formats of this. I have it in Word document. I have it in a spreadsheet. I have it in a diagram like this. The main thing here is for you, it depends on what your stakeholders want, how they want their documentation. In some companies, they have a format. They want their document, their project document. The project management office decide the format they are going to use. So why we are doing this is because the project management office, where you might be working as a project manager, might want you to have a work breakdown structure in this format. And you are not going to come and tell them that Mr. Charles didn't teach you this. It's because Mr. saw Mr. Charles work breakdown structure in an Excel document. So whichever way they want it, you give it to them. Are you getting me?
Yes, please. Yes.
So that is the answer to your question.
Okay. Okay. A second one is a follow-up to, I think, Lucy's question. And you answered it, but I just want to ask for clarity.
Okay.
This breakdown under each of the phases, for example, the initiate phase has 2 breakdown under it. Are these 2 interdependent, or are they just a breakdown that stand alone, or is it a workflow?
Like I said, if you are following the arrow, you can see how it's flowing. That in project management, we see most of the work goes in sequence. So at this point, we are just breaking down work we want to do. The main thing is that under initiate, you have 2 tasks to do to capture under this. This is not a project plan. At this point, it's not a project plan. So when you get to project plan, that is when we see what we call dependencies.
Okay.
You know which one is depending on this. But at this point, if you look at this flow, you see that under initiate stage, you have 2 items. You have 2 tasks to perform under initiate stage. This is a high-level breakdown of your work. This is not you can't use this to execute your project because it's not a project plan. If anybody is telling you that you can use work breakdown structure to implement a project, then the person is lying to you. But I see that this is a blueprint, a foundation where you lay your project plan. Is that clear?
Yes,
there is no need of wasting your time trying to decide they are high level breakdown structures. High level.
Okay.
High level means that it is at a chunky stage. You still need to break them down into a very detailed low level. And to break them down into a low level, it becomes a project plan. And that's why I told you in my own, you see, I clearly demarcated that from going this way is now becoming a mini project plan. Let me show you this. I said that from here, I clearly said it here that the work breakdown structure is phase and activities and tasks. These 2 is the work breakdown structure. These two here is the work breakdown structure. These two, the two highlighted areas. All this one is just to help me to make my work easy by the time I'll be creating my project plan. And for me, I call it detailed work breakdown structure. But the normal work breakdown structure, what you need to is this and this. Create a phase and create activities under each of the phases. Simple. But this, trying to capture this, meeting, all this is me being overzealous project manager who know too much.
Okay, thank you so much. That is very explicit. Just the last one, and I hope I'm not taking anybody's time.
Well, you can ask because others are already giving you the space.
Okay, thank you so much. So just a final question. I got a bit confused when you answered one of the questions. I think it's still from Lucy, when she asked if the shapes must be the same or if it can be different shapes. And then you started to compare that one with the rest of them and they were identical. So I got confused. So I want to ask, I love aesthetics. I love shapes and light, you know, instead of coloring them differently, can I choose to, you know, use circle in the first one, use hexagon in the other one, or whatever? Is it
in work breakdown structure? You don't do that, no matter how you love it.
Okay.
That is the ethics.
Okay. Okay.
And it's not a work breakdown structure is not a flow chart. No matter how you love it, there is rules. When you are creating a flow chart, it is called a flow chart. When you are creating, let's see flow charts. Flow chart is different from, is for a purpose. It's for a purpose. You see this, I'll add another window or another page here. So let's go to, let's say, flow charts. You see, in the flowchart library here, you open it, you see, this is flowchart. You see, these are various shapes here in the flowchart. You can use it, but this is not flowchart. You know, so you can use any of these. These are symbols for you can use any of, but this is not a work breakdown structure. This is not what we are doing. You can use it to design anything, but not work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure is a simple activity for you to break your work into categories and simple. Don't go and start making your work so, no matter how you love shape or no matter how creativity or there is rules in this game. So follow it, make your work. Another thing I want to tell you in this project management and business analysis is that the simpler you make your work, the better. Make your work to be simple.
Nice.
Don't make your work to be complex. Don't make your work to be trying to showcase. I was hired to revamp a process map. If you see this process map, I was hired to revamp. It's so complex that even the person creating this process map, why you do not, after creating a complex process, this is a senior manager, but the process map she created was unable to, nobody could understand the process map. And when I came, that process map, I simplified it and she was thanking me and thanking me. Everybody loved it the way I simplified it. You are trying to create a map to make things easier for people to understand. You are not creating a diagram to make things more complex. That is the purpose of diagram, to make your work more easy, user-friendly, not more complex. Okay. Guys, nobody were raising hand. You think we are here forever, and she had the floor to explore. And when it's time to close, a lot of people started raising their hands, and it's already 10 o'clock. And you guys know we can't exit 10 o'clock. And there is time you should have shared the floor with Chineye, and nobody refused to do that. So I'm sorry for Anekemewa and Edikan Obots. So you have people here that want to go to bed, but you know I'm a very nice guy, so I don't want you to feel bad going to bed. But if you raise your hand again after Anekeme, you're on your own. So Edikan Obot, can you fire us your missile?
All right, good evening, sir, and thank you so much for this lecture. Please, I would like to find out, I know that you mentioned in your first class that monitoring and control could be in any, all the phases.
Mm-hmm.
So can it be included if anybody wants to include it?
Included how? It's already included. You've already captured it. I said in my own, let me tell you, there is a level you reach in project management, you can call your own shots. You know, that is the level I can do things to bring something better to table. But if you are at the stage, you are learning stage, take it. So I said you can apply monitoring and control because it is supposed to be applied from the day you start in a project. You start monitoring, you start controlling, you start tracking. But if you want to capture it as a phase in the project life cycle, it's up to you. You can do that.
Okay.
So that is what I said. So is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, and Anie Ekeme, and we have AV Queenet Jobon. The AV Queenet is trying to violate our rule or try to understand what I can do. But like all of you know, she's on her own. So Anie Ekeme, you can have the mic.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. So while using the work breakdown structure on the draw.io platform, so for this particular diagram that we just did, while opening it, I saw other like the flow chart, organizational chart, the swim lane diagram. So where does the chart we just drew fall into?
You see that the chart we draw is a simple diagram. It's just a work breakdown structure diagram. And you see from general shapes, I pick just simple shapes. You see the library here. I picked it from the general, means that it's a very simple diagram.
Are you at the work lecture? Know how it works?
I can see that this
so whatever that
is a
deliverable may
very
be, or
stubborn somebody.
I'm just sorry.
So, Aneke, can you hear me?
Yes, sure, I can hear you.
So it's a simple diagram. So it's not a big Let us not make anything out of this diagram. It's very simple diagram, just to create a diagram for your shape. So to create a diagram for the project you want to, for easy visualization. So this is the library I created it from. If that's what you are looking for, is called, I created it from General Library. And that means that it's just a very simple work.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you, everyone. And we are going to stop here and we're going to stop here tonight because we've exhausted our time. So if you guys want to continue this lecture, after that, it means you need to get authorization for extension. So thank you and good night.
Good night, Mr. Charles. Thank you.
Yes,
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.